My name is Susie Andrade. That's officially official now. And I think this is probably the last class I'm going to mention that because it's been a couple now. But anyway, I've been an oiler since February of 2016. I've been building a business since June of 2016 because I figured out that these oils are pretty amazing and everybody needed them. It wasn't until 2018 that I religiously started on NingXia Red. I had dabbled in it until then, but I got solidified into it in 2018 after I was off of it for 2 weeks straight after being on it for 2 months straight. So I didn't really notice a change in my body until I came off of it. And once I was off of it, I started feeling different to the point where I was like, what? And it was like slight differences to the point where I was like, what in the world? So I just knew that I wasn't ever going to be without it. After hearing at convention that if you're taking NingXia Red and you're not feeling the effects of it, up your NingXia Red, like maybe 2 ounces isn't enough for you. Maybe you should go more to 4 and 6 ounces. I started doing that when I fell below the wellness line, when I would start feeling a little less than. And I was hooked. I was like, okay, yeah, we never need to be without this again. And even when I get down to my final bottle, I'm putting in quick, fast, like overnight orders for NingXia Red. So I really try hard not to do that. So that's my small little NingXia Red story. I'm passing this to Tammy's going to introduce herself now.
Hello. So I was one of those people who Thieves Household Cleaner was the first thing I tried outside the kit, and NingXia Red was the second thing that I got a pouch in there, 2 pouches in the kit. Since about my 3rd month, so like January or February of 2015, I have been using NingXia Red. I've run out a couple of times in the winter. Like Susie said, you sometimes don't feel it until you run out. I live in northern Wisconsin, so when we have really, really cold weather, they will not ship bottles to me. Sometimes you can get packets, sometimes they won't even ship those. So yes, I stock up. I think I have, no kidding, at least 16 bottles of NingXia Red right now because we are going into winter and this is not something that I ever want to run out. So I think I have at least 90 packets and 16 bottles. So, and I will continue to order it every month. And when we get into January and February, if the weather is still cooperating, I may take a month or 2 off because I will have enough. But like Susie said, it's something I don't ever want to run out of. I think as far as I had a lot of chronic pain and inflammation from a couple of car accidents that I was in. And I actually, Dr. Peter Mankey, if you YouTube The Red Drink by Dr. Peter Mankey, he will explain why Tammy uses sulfurzyme. I prefer the powder. We also sell it in caplets. I love the taste of it. So I use a heaping half teaspoon, 3 to 4 ounces of NingXia Red, and then a drop or 2 of lime juice, lime essential oil. And this is like a 34-ounce tumbler. I fill it up with ice, put those things in it, and then fill it up. Sometimes they even get a little crazy and I put bubbly water in it. But when I am consistently using my NingXia Red and my sulfurzyme and lime essential oil, my body just feels better. I don't have all of those chronic aches and pains and headaches and migraines and all of those things that used to plague me. I don't have those things anymore. And really, between cleaning up my cleaning products and adding NingXia Red, those are the 2 things that have made me feel the way I am. Took my husband and my son a while to get on the NingXia train. My son does not care for the texture. So what we do for him is I put an ounce of NingXia in, I have like a reusable, what do they call those? Like a juice box type thing that I can sanitize and clean. And so an ounce of NingXia in there, and then we fill up the other 5 ounces. It's a 6-ounce thing, 5 ounces of water. And then you can't even really taste the NingXia. So he's getting the benefits. He's getting a little bit of extra hydration. Sometimes we do a drop or 2 of Vitality. He is not a great eater. So if I can get something healthy like NingXia Red in him, it's we're ahead of the game. So that is my story.
Hey, excuse me. My name's Lene, and I have been with Young Living since February of 2014. And I would like to remember how long I've been on NingXia Red. I've been on it so long that I don't remember not being on it, but I do remember in about the fall, no, January of, I think about 2017 or 2018, one of those years, I was on a very specific nutrition and fitness program, and my nutrition was like set, and I couldn't do anything outside of that. And that meant for 6 weeks, 6 weeks, I could not be on NingXia Red because they were like, you're not guaranteed the results if you do that. And I was choosing to win the challenge. And so I don't really remember, kind of like I think it was Tammy that said, like, being without it, or Susie said, being without it for a few weeks, you don't realize the effect until you like get back on it and you're like, now I feel better. And I really missed it. It has helped my health journey tremendously as far as just overall energy level and wellness. I stay above the wellness line so much better than I used to. And my kids are 8 and 9.5. They each take an ounce a day. And my husband takes a couple ounces a day minimum. And today I took 4 ounces because I had a dental procedure. I got my mercury fillings removed. So I'm like, my body needs more support. So feeding me the NingXia Red, tomorrow I get a raindrop, but that's another story. We can, if you want the access to that class, then let me know. But anyway, it's just been invaluable overall to me and my family's health, and we seriously hardly ever get sick. And I credit that to, of course, our lifestyle, but NingXia Red being a strong part of that. So for sure. And I like to do the red drink too.
Hi, I'm Sherry Hester. I'm here in Savannah, Georgia, and I have been with Young Living for 12 years. And it took me a minute to discover NingXia Red as well. I didn't know. I thought we were just an oil company. What did I know? So I kind of have the same story that the other girls have. But again, I will say that for me, when I notice what NingXia Red does for me is when I don't drink it. Right. That's when I realize it. And all of a sudden I'm like, why am I just being sluggish and feeling like everything takes so much more energy? And then I'm like, aha, I forgot to take my NingXia. So what I love about it is that it is a whole body nutrient, and I've been able to, when I have people that I'm coaching or talking with or just trying to help, and they have, like, the laundry list of things, like, what can we work on first? Well, I've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I'm like, okay, NingXia Red. This is where we're going to start. NingXia Red, because it just, and we're going to learn about that tonight, but that's one reason I just love it, is because I feel like when I take it, it does kind of do like everything. It just takes care of it. It's like this big hug around my entire body because it takes care of everything. But my biggest win that I just have to tell you, and I will try to be brief because I have to tell you about this because this is amazing, was with my dog, my Chihuahua. Pablo. Jen knows the story. She's heard it a million times. But anyway, Pablo was very sick. He started not being able to walk. He lost his hind legs weren't working. Then within days, his front legs weren't, and he was just kind of laying on the ground and crawling. It was horrible. I took him to the doctors. I ended up going to a specialist, like a neurologist. I mean, we were doing the whole thing. And basically, they gave me a few scenarios, and they said, it could be A, B, C, D. And I said, okay, well, now that I know what it can be, because they were suggesting $10,000 worth of MRIs and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, hold on, let's pause just a second. Now that I know what it can be, let me go home for a minute. I'll be right back. So, and then I decided to just try some things. So I was doing all that I knew, like all of my like oily knowledge. I was giving him frankincense. I was doing this, and he just wasn't getting better. So My friend came over with an iTovi scanner. Do you all know what that is? iTovi, or is, the Zytoscan, right? Well, it measures, it measures your biometrics, and it is programmed for Young Living products, right? It can just tell you. So humans hold it in their hand and it acts like a lie detector, like it can tell you what's off. Well, my little chihuahua, my friend come over and she said, let's do an iTovi on Pablo. I'm like, excuse me? She said, yeah, because he's a chihuahua and he doesn't have a lot of hair on his belly, we'll just put it on his belly. So we tried it on his belly and it didn't work. Like, it just didn't connect. I'm like, shoot. She goes, okay, you're going to have to be his proxy. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? And so she said, no, you just think, you hold it, but you think of him. I'm like, this is the craziest thing. I don't understand this. But right as we were doing that, remember, Pablo's legs weren't working. Okay. This is important information. So he's laying there in my arms. And right before I started to do this proxy thing, which I thought was so woo woo, and I'm like, you're a crazy person. He opened up his legs. I was like, okay. And then he goes, and we both look at each other. And she said, do you think we're supposed to put the iTovi right there in the crease of his legs where he just opened up his legs? I said, yeah. So we did. And the long and the short of it is, guys, the first thing that came up on his Zytoscan was NingXia Red. I had never done NingXia Red with my dog before. I had done all the oils, but I had not done NingXia Red. You guys, I gave him NingXia Red every day in dropperful, very diluted, all the stuff, right? After a week, I wish I could show you the footage. He was running in the yard. No joke. Didn't do anything different. No meds, NingXia Red. So that's my NingXia Red story, and we will continue. Thank you very much.
Dang, who knew? Do they have an attachment for animal paws?
No, you have to do proxy unless he opens up his legs for you.
I tried to do an iTovi on Ranger because of all his skin issues and multiple places, and it didn't work. So I'll have to try the proxy thing. Maybe if I have my hand on him and then try it. Well, we'll have to try that. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about that afterwards because I have some questions about that. Okay, so as we move into this class, I want to talk about this. I'm going to start us off with this amazing supplement that we're talking about. It's very intense and very concentrated because it's a nutrient dense superfood. Like, it's the food in a bottle, the entire thing. So once you start educating yourself on this information, it's our hope that not only do you start taking it if you're not already, but you also get your family taking it, because this little bottle of red stuff can do quite amazing things, especially as a regular dietary supplement. And honestly, I don't think that there's a lady here that knows anything about NingXia Red that wouldn't tell you that if they had one product from Young Living to give you, it would be NingXia Red, hands down. It would be NingXia Red. That would be the first thing. NingXia Red, my second thing to tell you to take is Life 9, because today it's like a 1-2 punch, right? You have your antioxidant, free radical chaser that puts it in your stomach, and then you take a nice quality probiotic to get it out of your stomach into your waist, right? So that is what it's all about. It's not only just about cutting out something from your diet, right? Like, we want to get as much ugly out of our diet, the toxic ingredients out of our diet, like, so we don't eat a lot of processed foods and things like that. But it's also about what you're putting into your body. And when you're talking about that, you want to go both into some nutrient dense stuff, right? So the thing is that when you start talking about supplementation, people start thinking, you know what, I just need to eat better. I just need to eat better. I need to eat the right food. So what is it about our food, right? So our food is not our grandma's food. So food is repeatedly grown on the same land with pesticides and fertilizers. First of all, has anybody seen their documentary Food Inc.? Because I highly suggest, if you haven't watched that documentary, it tells you about our food supply in the United States. if you don't know anything, start there. If you know everything, you're already eating organic, or try and make better choices because you know what's going on. But the point is that the scientists are creating new varieties of crops to grow faster and guess what? Resist bugs, right? So they're genetically modifying our food, and the plants don't have the same time that they need to absorb the nutrients in the soil that they once did. The soil loses its vitamins and minerals and microbes and faster than they can be replaced. So the Cushy Institute analysis of nutrient data over a 22-year period found that the average calcium levels in 12 fresh vegetables dropped 27%, iron levels dropped 30%, and vitamin C dropped 30%. You would have to eat 8 oranges today in order to get as much vitamin A as your grandma once did, which is crazy to me. So maybe you're thinking if you can't get the nutrients from the vegetables and the fruits, maybe you can get it from your meat source. Well, here's the thing with that. When plants contain fewer nutrients, guess what? The animals that are eating them are also getting malnourished, malnourished. A study from the Journal of Nutrition and Health found that copper levels in the United Kingdom are down 90% in dairy and 55% in meat, and a whopping 76% in vegetables. So water is depleted of minerals because of the number of plants pulling for more nutrients from the same land, and modern production methods, which are used to make the industry more efficient, are detrimental as crops are no longer maintained by hand. So once upon a time, people used to go and hand weed things. Sometimes those things still happen at really great quality product companies. But they're the town filtration systems. Many of the filtration systems remove important minerals from them, like magnesium, which is essential for 300 biochemical reactions in our bodies. And then you top it off and you add chlorine and fluoride to the water. Beyond that, nutrient absorption declines with age. So the older we get, the less we absorb. So nutrient deficiencies hurt our performance. They cause DNA damage. They make us age faster and cause chronic disease. And that, my friends, is why we need to supplement our diet. I'm going to turn this over to Tammy, and she's going to talk to us about what is NingXia.
What is NingXia other than Tammy's favorite Young Living supplement? So I have a bottle, and I don't know how well you can look at this. Look at this. Okay. Do you see? It's like a darker color here, and it's a lighter color about half of the bottle. This is because this is not a juice. This is the entire berry that Gary figured out how to get in this bottle so that we get the whole food nutrition. It's not just the juice. It is the entire berry that is pureed, and which is why you want to shake this every time you drink it. It sits in my refrigerator on its side because I don't have enough room for it to stand up. And then when it stands up, you can see all of the goodness on the back of the bottle. So you want to make sure that you just give it a little shake. The bottles come in 25 ounces, and my husband and I use the bottles. You have to keep it refrigerated after it's open. So if you are somebody who is on the go a lot, another thing that I like to do with the packets is I like to throw them in the freezer, and then I use that as an ice pack for my lunch. And then by the time I get to work by the time I'm ready for lunch, it has kept my food cold, but it's like slushy. And then I can drink my NingXia Red with lunch. So, the wolfberry is commercially known as the goji berry. I'm sure that is something that everybody has heard. This special wolfberry gets its name from where it's grown. It's grown in a little region in, let's try that again. In a little region in China called the Yellow River Valley. People who live in NingXia, China, are even the the elderly people. You don't see a lot of people walking around with canes and glasses. They are the optimal size. And the thing is, the first time Gary went over there, he saw them all snacking on these berries. They were like munching on these berries. It is a staple of their diet. It supports eye health. It supports ligaments and bones. And it's like every body system, this little magic berry supports everything. So let's see, where was I? Okay, so NingXia wolfberries, there is more than just wolfberries in this bottle. They are very high on the antioxidant scale, and they are bottled in here with blueberries, aronia, cherry, pomegranate, and plum juices. There is natural stevia in here. And then it is blended with yuzu, orange, lemon, and tangerine essential oils. And when Gary combined essential oils with a supplement, he made sure that he was using the essential oils that would help our body to optimally use whatever supplement that he was bottling. And they make it taste even more delicious. So it is a very, very nutrient dense drink, as Sherry told us, or not Sherry, I'm sorry, Susie told us that. So you get, actually, it is China's equivalent of the organic seal. It's the gold, I'm sorry, the gold certificate is what China calls it. So you combine the gold certificate with seed to seal. And I think if you've been with us for these classes before, you will hear Tammy say, we think that organic is cute. You won't find organic on any of the Young Living products because we go so far above and beyond what is required to be organic. And we don't want you to think that we settle there, because we kind of set the standard for, we didn't think organic was good enough for our products to give you the safe products that you needed. So we took things above and beyond. No fertilizer on nothing synthetic on our soil for 50 years, or we won't even put a seed in it. So the seed, the land, no chemical fertilizers. We use essential oils, we use cover crops, we use other things to get the same result. And we do it in a very, very healthy way. So no pesticides, no sulfur, no dyes, no heavy metals like lead, arsen, mercury, and cadmium. We don't use any of those. One of the very special things about the way that this Yellow River region is irrigated, once a year when the river floods out, it actually sends all kinds of minerals and silt, and it floods the fields where the NingXia berries are grown. And then it leaves, that's where you get all of those nice dense minerals. I just found out that if you want complete vitamins and minerals, you get a 1-2 punch here. I know Susie said that with the Life 9, but you get all of your vitamins with our master formula. You get all of your minerals from NingXia Red. So they are a perfect complement. If you are looking for a place to start, that's what I would recommend. So if you are familiar with, if you've ever collected sap for making maple syrup, you know that when it is cooler in the evenings and then the sun comes out and it warms up those trees, that's when you get the really good sap flow. Like we will fill 2-gallon bags in less than a day when you get those extreme high and low temperatures. And that is actually in Ningxia, China, they get that naturally. So it helps. It has an optimal elevation, and then it has those swift temperature changes, and it makes for a very happy plant. And it is very unique to that region. You don't have those growing conditions anywhere else where these berries are grown. So not only do you get the minerals, but you get the optimal growing conditions as well. NingXia Red is has high nutritional content, and it has naturally occurring organic sugar. It has the kind of sugar that helps our cells talk to each other. So it's rich in vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and antioxidants. More than any other wolfberry in the world. If you're just going to the supermarket and buying wolfberries, they're not the same, I will guarantee it. Here's a little Chinese proverb. It says, if you want to be happy for an hour, go take a nap. If you want to be happy for a day, go fishing. And if you want to be happy for a lifetime, help people. And that, I think, is the heart of the reason that we came together. We all love these products and we all love to teach about them. So that Chinese proverb just kind of hit home with me. So let's talk about the journey. How did we get NingXia Red into the United States and to be able to deliver it to all of our doorsteps? It's hard to bring something sacred from China all the way to the United States. But Gary Young, our founder, was in search of like the fountain of youth. He searched all the corners of the earth, and his journey is chronicled in a book called NingXia Wolfberry, the Ultimate Superfood. And that's this one right here. I love this. This is not something that I could read cover to cover because it is so dense with information, but it has wonderful information. So I just kind of set this down and I read a page or two at a time. It's wonderful. It's got amazing information in it. So Gary found that the people, and I've already kind of told you this, but Gary found that the people living in the Ningxia region in China had exceptional lifespans and something in common. They were nibbling on these berries, making tea out of them, drying the fruit and eating it. He took the berry back to his lab in the United States, and thus the journey of the red berry made its way to American soil. Once Gary found NingXia, it took 7 years to get it past customs, to get it back to the United States, and to get it formulated. It started out just as a very young juice, and that was just the juice. It was not the whole fruit. Then it was reformulated to include the peel, and thus the fresh wolfberry fruit was born. Now we're going to talk about the science, and when I say we, I mean Lene.
I love science. It's so fun. And that's what's cool about Young Living, is that they don't just throw things together just because. They have an amazing team. Like, there's thought put behind their products, why they formulate them the way they do, and why certain oils are put in certain things to help our bodies absorb them. So much goes into the products that we have and love. So why does NingXia Red work so well for us? Well, you've all probably heard about antioxidants, and that they chase the free radicals, the things in our bodies that can wreak havoc on our systems and cause disease and illness and all the sorts of bad things that we choose not to have in our body. So that's the first reason why the science of NingXia Red works, is because of the antioxidants in them. So just 1 ounce of NingXia Red has the antioxidant equivalent of 2 pounds of wolfberries, and there are about 17 to 18 species of wolfberries, but only the NingXia wolfberry, like Tammy mentioned, has the ability to deliver all the micro and macronutrients that are bioavailable for your cells. So antioxidants play a huge role in aging, memory, arthritis, inflammation, and a lot more that we aren't going to go into tonight. But the oxygen radical absorbance capacity, otherwise known as ORAC, is a method of measuring antioxidant properties in something. So presently, the highest antioxidant on the ORAC scale is vitamin E, which comes in between 800 and 1200, followed by blueberries, raspberries, and pomegranates. A combination of fruits together reach around 3000 on the ORAC. Okay, so just a reference, vitamin E 800 to 1200, and then a combination gets you to about 3000. The ORAC of NingXia, are you ready? Brace yourself. 27,300. Wowzers. That's the main reason. Like, that's just off the charts amazing. Okay. So that alone right there, you put that into your body, you are going to be doing your body a world of good. Okay. So reason number 2 that it's so amazing is the acid to alkaline concept. So in our bodies, we have a balance of alkaline versus acid. Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard of the pH scale, but the less the pH, the more acid, the higher the pH, the more alkaline. So you want to have a good balance between that. The more acid in your body, the more disease potential you have, because disease, illness, cancers, you name it, love an acid environment. Okay. So, acid, like I said, it breeds those viruses and bacteria and fungus. And when you keep your pH neutral, you inhibit or prevent that growth of things that you don't want in your body. So everything we eat converts in the stomach, right? Food goes into our mouth, we chew it, goes into the stomach. Stomach has a pH of 2.5. So pretty acidic, but that's to break down the food. Okay. Wolfberry goes into the stomach and starts to break down as acid. But the minute it hits the small intestine, and this is so cool because of how the body and things work together, when it hits the small intestine, it immediately converts back to an alkaline. And the acid binding and alkaline forming, it binds acids and then it forms into an alkaline, is what I meant to say. So only one other food does that, and that's the lemon. Wolfberry is structured in such a way that it converts because of the amino acid trypsin, which is responsible for the conversion of amino acids in protein. So guess what NingXia is? It's alkaline protein. So it's the most perfect food that exists. Reason 2. Okay. Reason number 3, free radicals. So where do free radicals come from? The air, electromagnetic fields, otherwise known as EMF, stuff that we're eating, chocolate, sugar, and they are the army guys on the wrong side of the team. Okay, so they wreak the havoc. You outnumber the army with NingXia. Your body does a pretty good job of taking care of oxidative stress, but one of the reasons we age, the reasons we get wrinkly and stuff like that, and the reasons we feel tired is because of an excess of free radicals. Our body does what it can, but it can't keep up. So everything that is high on the ORAC scale will flush your system really well. Your body gets just quadrillions of free radicals attacks each day, 10,000 attacks per cell per day. And your body has I think over 100 trillion cells or something. So just think of how many free radical attacks per cell that is. Most nutritional drinks do just very little against the superoxide, which is the worst free radical, because the drinks are so heavily processed. And the more processed things are, the less our body is able to utilize them. So Gary worked for years to get this formulation just right to protect the berry all the way to the bottle so that you get the full benefits. The NingXia Wolfberry was saved during the whole process. So that means it's a powerhouse designed to fight those free radicals that are in your body. Reason 4, and it was touched on briefly before, is the vitamin and mineral pairs. So minerals have to be properly balanced. Too much calcium can lead to a zinc deficiency. Too much zinc can suppress immunity and lead to anemia. But both the mineral profile and the mineral balance of the NingXia Wolfberry is without an equal in the plant kingdom. okay, with magnesium to calcium ratios of 1 to 1, zinc to copper 2 to 1, and potassium to magnesium 8 to 1. It's exactly what the body needs in proportion. So it's incredible. It really is. And that's just reason 4. Reason 5, it is a macronutrient. You're getting whole food nutrition. You saw in the bottle that Tammy shared. There's that puree. That's all the pulp from the fruits that are in this wonderful drink. And so it's coming from the plant and not a synthetic source that so much of our processed food has. You know, if you buy bread from the store, it has added nutrients to it, vitamins and minerals. They add stuff to it. And that our body just doesn't uptake that synthetic stuff very well. So it's coming from a food-based source. And that, like I said, that means your body can process it better and you will absorb more of what you're eating. So what's the point of eating something healthy if you're not going to absorb it? It's just almost a waste. You're just going to pee it out, basically. So with the NingXia wolfberry, your body is actually absorbing it. It's also a liquid. So if you did a digestive function test, 95 to 98% of us would come back with a weak or deficient digestive system because of medications, stress, processed foods, etc. So to get NingXia in a liquid form means that you absorb it faster. So your body doesn't have to break it down. I had someone tell me once, just 30 minutes after drinking a packet of NingXia Red, is it possible for me to feel this good this fast? I'm like, yes, it is. Number 5, it's a macronutrient. I already said that, right? Yes. Sorry. Number 6, it's infused with essential oils. So essential oils in NingXia act as a delivery system to the body. And because it is infused with Young Living seed to seal premium essential oils, it increases the absorption rate. So the oils help the already absorbable NingXia component to be even more bioavailable. The tiny oil acts as a delivery system for the larger molecules. So cool. Last reason, but certainly not least, is it has the right sugar and the right enzymes. So we all think that sugar is bad, right? But not all sugar is bad. NingXia has the right sugar that opens the doors to the cell. And when our cell membranes are inflamed, oxidized, toxic, lacking in mitochondrial function, that's where the energy storehouse is, to energize the receptors to open and close, we have no energy. So NingXia's sugars open that door to our cells so that the good information can get passed to them. It crosses the lipid layer, so the fatty layer of the cell, and passes inside. Only 8 sugars on the earth can open the door. So NingXia has 4 of the 8. See, there's method, there's meaning behind this amazing drink. Let's also talk about enzymes. By the age of 40, I'm not there yet. Just kidding. I'm almost to the other side. By age 40, you start losing digestive enzymes in the gut. NingXia is loaded with the right enzymes to help you break down foods that you eat and to get the nutrients out of those foods. So let's feed our body exactly what it needs, right? And I think that's where I'm going to hand it off to Sherry, and she's going to tell us some other amazing things about NingXia.
I am. Thank you, Lene. And I get to actually do a little science, which is really going to be fun. And since it's not my strength, I'm going to do it really slow so that I understand, so that you can understand. Okay. So here's some really other cool things that NingXia does. This is really important. NingXia contains every essential amino acid, every single one that we need. It contains 13% protein, and it's the highest protein content of any fruit out there. It has trace minerals. It has naturally occurring vitamins B1, B6, and B12, which of course we know is the energy vitamin. It has more vitamin C than any of the fruits and veggies on earth. It has 148 milligrams. Parsley and spinach only have 133. Oranges have 53 milligrams, and it has more calcium than cherries. It has 16 milligrams, and it has more beta carotene than carrots, 11,000 milligrams. So it is loaded with fiber because, as you hear, the fruit, the skin, right? We know the skin is always so good for us. So the skin of the berry is preserved and in that drink, and it makes it so nutritious for us. So perhaps the best thing about this NingXia Wolfberry, what it does for your body, is that what it does to our cells. Okay, the cell membrane is made up of oils, fats, and I don't know how to say that, Lene. How do you say it? Phospholipids. I practiced this 10 times in the mirror and I
Phospholipids.
That's it. That's what we got. It's made out of oils, fats, and that. Okay, so now we're going to see the image, right? There's these proteins that are floating on this liquid. It's like very flexible sea of fat. Ooh, gross, ooh. Okay, the proteins are like little antennas that pick up messages from other cells. And we know these messengers by some names. I know that you know them. I've even heard of them. Thyroid enzymes, insulin, digestive enzymes, neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. Okay, that's what those little antennas are. They're messengers that they do not work well unless you attach the right sugars to them. So Lene was talking about the right kind of sugars, right? We need the right kind of sugars. That's very important. They won't work. So you can see the power of nutrition. And Susie was talking all about nutrition. See, it's so important. The food that we take in and this magic red drink combined, it's everything. So fats, proteins, sugars are needed. Okay, if you're eating the wrong sugar, well, you're causing the whole structure of the cell membrane to act dysfunctioningly. We don't like dysfunction. If cell communication breaks down, your health breaks down. This cell communication is so important. If you mess up the cell membrane, you need more insulin then to get the job done. We don't want that. Okay, guess what? I have a tape measure. I'm going to tell you something. This is a little bit scary, and it's not about your weight. Don't worry, I'm not into that. But 40% of all people are insulin resistant. You know how you can tell? Measure your waist. Okay? If a man has a waist of more than 40 inches and a woman more than 35 inches, they are insulin resistant. That's a lot of people out there that are insulin resistant. Okay, that's why you want to stay away. You've just got to learn to stay away from those bad sugars, guys. So listen, the NingXia Wolfberry and good nutrition can impact your cell membranes. It helps cellular communication take place. It gives the mitochondria the energy it needs, and it provides micronutrients, and it feeds the mitochondria. It has the right sugar to open the cell door. When you eat poorly, your cells get all mucked up. That lipid layer on the outside of the cell, it gets sticky. And the cells stack on top of one another like coins. There's a really great picture floating around there on the internet. I wish I could have grabbed it, but it actually shows how sticky and gross, these layers can get. So NingXia actually wipes that all clean. And it increases the surface area so that good information can get passed to the cell. This is so important. It's like a cleaning agent. Like, it's amazing. So let's get this straight. NingXia is not healing your body, okay? NingXia does not heal your body, but it cleans out the receptor sites so that the body can do its own work and communicate like a boss, right? It becomes the sidekick for the body so it can do what it was created to do. All right. So the best way to get NingXia in your body is just to drink it. Just take it any way you can. All right. Let's think about how long does it take to see results? Well, it can take a week. It can take 2 weeks. It can take a month. But let's think about this for a second. It takes 4 months for every cell in your body to be replaced. 4 months. So I would suggest 2 to 4 ounces a day for 4 months. Then stop it. Stop the NingXia for a week. You know how we all were saying, that's how we really know when it works, when we stop it, right? Because when you're feeling good, you're feeling good. So try that. It's just a little experiment. I really personally hate to go without it, but it would let you know, what your body's doing. Okay, here's a little NingXia Wolfberry test. I never knew about this, so this is kind of fun. And I did it today, and I got to tell you, well, I'll tell you when we get to that step what happened. Okay, so first, the important thing is we've talked about all of the body parts that NingXia helps and supports, right? So I want you to take note. This is your little test. You're going to, before you take your NingXia, take note of these body parts and these reference points, okay? Lung capacity. Take note. Take some deep breaths. See how deep your lungs expand, how easy it is if it feels constricted. Take note. Lung capacity. Then your vision. How's your vision? Is it feeling good? What are you seeing? How's your eyesight? Take note of your energy level. That's the big one for me. So look around the room, assess everything, your eyesight, your energy, your lungs. Okay, then take a large sip of NingXia Red, but listen, don't swallow it. You hold it under your tongue for 5 to 10 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds, for a minute. Okay, under the tongue is the best place. Okay, tune in, keep it there, close your eyes, and tune in to all those things we just talked about. Lung capacity. Well, your eyes are closed, but your eyesight, what it feels like, your energy level. Just be aware. Take it all in. Okay, then swallow. Then take another good evaluation of how you feel. And this is where I want to share with you, when I did this today, I actually felt tingly. After I swallowed it, I felt a tingly sensation. I don't know, was that energy, vibrations? I don't know, but it felt good. So, you might feel more awake. You might feel like you can breathe easier, but it's just a neat little thing to do. Okay, and I'm not going to take time because we're running low. There's all sorts of ways that you can drink your NingXia, lots of shot recipes. We can add those onto the webs, onto our Facebook group. Lots of great recipes like that. But what I really want to tell you is how to get your NingXia. And I think most of us here probably know, but there are different ways to get it. You can get it and buy them individually. It comes in the bottles, as Tammy showed you before, right? The bottles. You can buy them in 2 packs, 4 packs, 6 packs, 8 packs. Obviously, the more you buy, the less per ounce it is. You can also get them in the little packets. They're individual serving size, 2 ounces each. They sell them in 30 packs. So you can get that. Now, the cheapest way, I shouldn't say cheap, that's not a good word, is it? The least expensive way, the most economical way, that's the best way to say it, isn't it? The most economical way to get it is to get it on our Essential Rewards. Even though we don't have Essential Rewards anymore, I did just check and it's still called the ER bundle. So I'm going to refer to it as such for right now. If you are not a Young Living member, then the best way to get is the NingXia starter kit. That is a wonderful, wonderful economical way to get it. But if you are already a current distributor, or what are we called? We're not members, we're not distributors, we're customers. No, we're not. I don't know what we are. I'm a brand partner. What are you? I don't know. So is to get it on the Essential Rewards bundle. It's such a difference. You get, for the bundle, it comes out to be $1.17 per ounce, as opposed to the most expensive way you could get it is it's $1.46 per ounce. So there's a difference, right? So if you love your NingXia, which I do, I just get the Essential Rewards bundle every single month. And it just does me, it does me for the month. So, get your NingXia, however you want to buy it, however you want to get it in you. And that's the most important thing, because we know after tonight's class that it is so good for you and it will change your health. So, any questions, guys? Any comments, any stories? Anything you want to share about NingXia or questions about NingXia? You may unmute yourselves.
I have a couple things about NingXia. First, you were talking about being able to tell yourself before and after.
Oh.
In 2010, this is when, right before my adrenals were failing, but it was before the final crisis. I spent a month in Ecuador at the clinic, and they do live blood analysis. Has anyone had the live blood analysis? When you go and you have blood drawn, by the time they take a look at it, it's dead and it's flat on a screen thing. But if you draw your blood immediately within, if you look at it within 10 or 15 minutes, all the blood cells are still moving. And so one of the first things they do with part of your intake is they do a live blood analysis, and they show you. And I have no oxygen. I was in severe adrenal crisis. I was just a medical mess, and my blood was awful. And you could see it was all, instead of nice round bubbles, they were all flat. They were all stuck together and changed. They're supposed to be individual. And I was there for a couple of weeks. I was there for almost a month, but I did the second live blood analysis was in about 2 weeks. And I was doing 6 ounces of NingXia a day. And of course I was on a bunch of other stuff too. I got frankincense IVs and these IVs and stuff. But in 2 weeks, my blood was 100% difference. It was amazing. I mean, it looked normal, healthy blood, where you could see all of the crap in it. I mean, Gary used to say with live blood analysis, he could tell what you ate when you were 15 years old. He could see everything. He would just joke about it because he could see yeast, he could see iron deficiencies, he could just tell from looking at the blood all the issues that you had in your system. So it was really amazing to see that much of a change. I've actually got videos and pictures of it on my phone somewhere, but the difference in the blood was amazing to be able to see just from the couple weeks, and infusing it with the essential oils being natural, they go in and out of your cells and they bring everything else in there. So it was really amazing to see all that. And then the second thing was a couple years ago, I stopped drinking NingXia. I have really bad allergies that trigger everything. And I did some food sensitivities, and I found out I have a sensitivity to sodium benzoate or benzoic acid. And when I got rid of that in my diet, I was able to get rid of all my antihistamines and stuff. So I was able to finally come off the medications. Unfortunately, sodium benzoate is a preservative, and it's one of the healthier preservatives, and it's in NingXia. So I had to give it up. So I gave it up for a couple of years. And once I got everything cleaned up, I finally decided I'm not as clean as I should be with everything. And I said, you know what, if I'm going to eat cheese every so often, or I'm going to do this, I'm just going to go ahead and drink NingXia. So I decided to start drinking it again. And I wasn't noticing much of a reaction. And then I came across an article. And the problem with sodium benzoate is that it frequently converts into benzene, and benzene's a poison. It's often in a lot of soft drinks, but it's in almost everything. If you look, it's in ketchup, it's in pickle relish, but not in pickles. It's in all kinds of things, but it converts to benzene, and it's a poison. But it takes 4 things to convert to benzene. It takes heat, and NingXia is processed at a very low temperature, so we don't have the heat, as opposed to most soft drinks. It also takes carbonic acid, which is not in NingXia. It takes a low antioxidant environment, and NingXia is so high in antioxidants that it counteracts it. And the other thing, it takes some copper or trace metal, iron, and we have some copper and iron, but it's not enough. And so it was tested, and the average soft drinks are like 2 times the part, even up to, I think the WHO says you're supposed to have like 10 points per billion, 10 parts per billion is what you can have. And some soft drinks were up to 85 parts per billion. And we're less than 10, we're like way down the list, where it's so low that eggs have more of it in it than we did. So I'm back on NingXia. I drink 6 to 8 ounces a day now. And it is the sodium benzoate. If you see, if anybody questions it, anybody asks, because it is a preservative, there has to be a preservative. We have a shelf life. Otherwise, it would only last a week and they couldn't get it to us. And not that we don't drink it fast, but that's awfully fast to be drinking it. And, but that's it. Our sodium benzoate doesn't ever convert to benzene because it just doesn't have the conditions, and being so high in antioxidants that it saves all of that. So that's just my 2 cents. I gave it up because I was concerned about that one ingredient, and I started taking it again, and I haven't really noticed a significant change. And then I came across the article and found all the information about it, and that cleared it up for me. So that's my 2 points. Someone else go.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was worth the price of admission. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Ah, I loved it. Who's next?
I just want to say thanks, Tammy, for the info, because Wyatt doesn't like the texture either, so now he's willing to try Reese's way.
I'm sorry, Kelly. My boys have the TV loud and I didn't hear the end of what you said.
Wyatt doesn't like the texture either, but now he's trying to try it Reese's way. Just like his vitamins, because I told him Reese takes them, now he'll take them.
Reese is such a trendsetter, isn't he? I love it. I love it.
You know, I don't get much good nutritious food in him, so I am grateful for like the kids probiotic, the kids Mighty Bites, the NingXia Red, because then at least I know he's getting something good.
We are in the same boat with the picky eater. Although I don't know if you've seen my post the other day, Tammy. I got to go to school all last week, and he didn't even come down and see me once. 2 years ago, he'd have been down there every 5 minutes.
Anyone else before we close out? I know we've gone a little over. I'm so grateful that you all have stayed with us, and thank you so much for coming tonight.
Now, I have a question
yes.
about your dog and NingXia.
Yes.
So I tried to give Peeper NingXia a while back. He just wouldn't go near it. So I'm wondering if it's just better to put an ounce in his water. Like,
well, I tried that, and if you can get him to drink it, that's great. My dogs wouldn't go near it, so I had to force feed. So what I did was I would get a shot glass and I'd put like an ounce in, and then I'd totally water it down, at least double, and then that was it for the day. And I would just get a pipette, and then I would just open his mouth and pop it in.
Okay.
You know, like he didn't like it, but I just would, you know.
Susie,
I pour it over
like,
Ranger's food.
That's what I did.
I pour an ounce over Ranger's
they eat
food.
it? Mm-hmm. See, my dogs won't do that, but that's
There's
great.
sometimes a little bit left in the bottom of the bowl, but overall he gets it.
Sherry, I started with just like a capful my dogs were bigger dogs and they got 2 cups of food. So I started with just a capful, which doesn't really do anything, but it got them used to the taste and the flavor. And then my German Shepherd was so picky, he would sit there and scoff at me until he got his NingXia Red once he finally got used to it. So
I love it. I love it.
So he's too, I mix his wet food and his dry food now in such a small amount because he just doesn't eat a lot in one sitting. So maybe if I do exactly what Tammy said and just start integrating it into that little mixture, maybe I can get him more used to the taste to be able to, because he just like little guy, I mean, he's 16 and he's already in congestive heart failure. He's He started in May, so to have him for as long as we do, it's just whatever we can do to help him and kind of ease him, because his belly is so big, like so he's so full of fluid right now. But if I could just at least try it and see what it does for him, why not, right?
Just like with us, if you can get it in them, any way you can get it in them, any amount, it's better than nothing. It's so good for them and for us, right? Oh yeah, CBD, right, Michelle? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, we want to make sure that you know, because next week is October, so we have not announced our October classes. So we want to make sure that you know that next week we will be talking about when opportunity knocks. In other words, the business opportunity in Young Living. So I hope that you will come, bring your teams, bring your friends, because this is for people who don't know anything about Young Living, as well as those of us who are excited about that opportunity already. So, just so grateful that you all are here tonight, and we hope to see you next week. Girls, anything else that anyone wants to say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, and Elizabeth, thank you so much for your information. I am just a guru when it comes to that kind of information, because I know that Young Living seeks to make quality its number one priority. So if they have to use something, it's always nice to know that it doesn't have the effects that most other things do. So thank you for that.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening, and we shall see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.